I think there's some amount of conscientiousness that consumers have that all the stuff that they're looking at was made by someone in a factory. And fair trade and companies like Peak Design joining and insisting on fair trade is just bringing more people to the party. I think that's a really important thing to do.
Do you like to party?
I do like to party. All right, guys, come on. So, corner office, as you can see. I think you'll be here, Panuki. We'll figure it out, but pretty good spot. And I don't know. Well, the reason I started Peak Design was purely because I wanted to pursue a happier and more meaningful life. That was clearly my purpose when I started this company. And really, it just never stopped being my purpose. And I thought, well, if that works out pretty well for me, why wouldn't I want to extend that to everyone who has the opportunity to work here? I mean, that's going to take a lot of different shapes, right? Sometimes that means bike rides anytime during the week, or surf sessions, or climbing, or kicking down a few walls to expand the office when you need to. We did hire an architect and a builder, but I get a little excited sometimes. Happy people are great for business. And so when we can afford to spend more on our factory workers, we're going to do it. And one organization above all others has done more to advance the experience of people who are working in the manufacturing and agricultural fields than any other, and that's fair trade. And what they do is actually pretty simple. They make sure that working conditions are decent and safe, and that they're paid more.
Everyone loves you.
I'm feeling it this morning.
Let me hear you from the heart. Project.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests from Peak Design.
Yes.
I'm Peter Lockett, Principal of Soft Goods Operations.
Today is all about celebrating AJ Solutions getting Fair Trade certified. They got Fair Trade certified about 2 months ago, and this was a good timing for us to come out and see the facility up and running and celebrate. It's going to be special to stand up on stage in front of everyone. I'm feeling good about my speech, but being dyslexic and having a stutter is not going to help.
The big elephant in the room of our industry is just how many people it's required to make a product. And ultimately, as a brand, we do have a lot of opportunity to influence the lives and improve the lives of the people that are in our supply chain. Fairtrade started as a nonprofit certifying body of agricultural goods. And since then, they've just expanded to different industries, things like apparel, things like toys, snowboards. And so Fairtrade ultimately is certifying for different standards at factories, looking at things like worker empowerment, worker standards, and environmental impact.
Wow, that's some nice fair trade construction.
When I'm walking through a factory, there's so many things I'm looking for. There's things involved in our code of conduct, environmental auditing, social compliance auditing. Factories have so many different components. They have people, they have materials, they have the macro facility in itself. And so really, a factory is just a consistent flow of all these different dynamics. And so to understand how things are actually interacting with each other, you really do need to be around it, paying attention to things as minute as interactions between workers and management, maybe when there's a quality failure or when someone's being trained, down to, why is this material flowing from point A to point B in the way that it is? And so it really is complex, and there's just so many different facets to it, and that's why being around a factory for more than just a quick stint makes such a big difference.
2 years ago, AJ underwent a transformative evolution into fair trade operator.
Hey, Mr. Worldwide, let me get you mic'd up.
Ooh.
You're gonna kill it, man.
Thanks, man. Getting the jitters out.
Oh yeah. Just remember what I tell you. They're all naked.
I will.
I'm Peter Lockett's personal hype man, and I travel the world with him, basically helping him with his speeches. It's a passion and a hobby.
Each bag from this facility proudly creates.
Okay, now watch me.
Peak Design family. I, Peter Lockett.
I don't have children of my own, and Lockett's become a sort of surrogate child to me, and yeah, I just can't wait to see the speech tonight.
Because fair trade has so much reach across different industries, there's different types of certification you can have. Each industry inherently is different in its supply chain. Some industries rely on certifying at the farm level, whereas our industry is at the factory level. And so factory certification matches up a little bit better with the products that we're ultimately making.
Since I started my business, I dream to make the good factory which everybody can be happy. At the moment, Peter Daring explained about the fair trade and suggested to me, let's do fair trade factory. So I decided to apply the fair trade factory.
AJ Solutions has been our soft goods partner for many years now, since our first product, the Everyday Messenger. And Adrian Kwan, the owner of AJ Solutions, took a chance on us. And he was the right guy.
Peter Daring is a great business partner and best friend. And he is also one of my good teachers. And besides his good looking, he knows how to respect the people and try to understand the difference between two cultures.
Fairtrade and Peak Design started our journey together in 2020 when AJ Solutions wanted to build a new factory. And they were really willing to be a part of the Fairtrade program. They even built and customized their factory to the standards of Fairtrade. And since then, they've opened up another factory in the Philippines, also to the Fairtrade standard, and have really grown their dedication to Fairtrade as a practice. It's really ultimately up to fair trade and the factories. There's a lot of buy-in that's required from the factories, and you're not going to get certified unless your management believes in it and the workers believe in it. So as a brand, it's our job to nominate new factories, but at the end of the day, the bulk of the work falls on the factory to really want to do that.
I moved around many places to find the perfect location to the factory. And when I came here, I felt the peaceful air surrounded by the small mountains. Also, there was not many factories nearby, and I thought it would help to the people if I make the factory here.
Part of the fair trade process is a premium, an additional payment that's made on every good that's made in a fair trade factory. And this premium goes directly to the workers. They manage it, they control it, and ultimately they get to say what they do with it. And they have an elected committee, and with this committee, they get to choose what kinds of projects they want to allocate this money towards.
Cuộc sống của tôi thì tôi cảm thấy rất là vui và hạnh phúc vì cái nỗ lực của mình và được một cái quỹ fair trade.
One of the elected officials for fair trade at our Vietnam facility is Nam. By day, he's the quality manager and oversees all of our quality and inspection. But on the side, he's also been elected to be a part of the fair trade committee.
Cái nhà máy mà được cái hưởng phần được cái fair trade đó thì mang lại nhiều quyền lợi cho công nhân và công nhân cảm thấy hạnh phúc hơn là những nhà máy mà không có fair trade. Đối với cái cộng đồng thì các công nhân của nhà máy đều mong muốn chia sẻ một cái phần trong cái quỹ fair trade để ủng hộ các cộng đồng, chia sẻ những khó khăn đối với cộng đồng và có thể giúp họ vượt qua những cái khó khăn trong cuộc sống.
Fair trade đã giúp cho chúng tôi có một thu nhập thêm để cho cuộc sống của chúng tôi nó có được khá hơn nữa. Đối với chúng tôi, con người Việt Nam, chúng tôi luôn có một cái tinh thần nhân văn rất là cao, nên chúng tôi luôn luôn giúp đỡ nhau trong mọi hoàn cảnh khó khăn. Riêng tôi, cái quỹ fair trade á, thì tôi sử dụng một ít cái quỹ fair trade mà hiện tại tôi đang có để giúp đỡ những bạn nhỏ có hoàn cảnh khó khăn, những bạn mồ côi về những phần nhỏ. Riêng cá nhân tôi giúp cho họ những bé nhỏ như vậy để cho những em bé đó có những cái phần gọi là tinh thần, các bé đó nó được vui hơn.
Hy vọng là tất cả những cái người trong cộng đồng đều có một cuộc sống tốt hơn và hy vọng là trong cái mà một phần của fair trade có thể giúp đỡ hỗ trợ họ vượt qua cuộc sống khó khăn. Và cộng đồng tốt hơn thì cuộc sống của mọi người xung quanh cũng sẽ tốt hơn.
One of the benefits of fair trade that doesn't show up in the premium payment is just worker retention. With that comes a benefit both to factory and brand.
From the point of view of a product designer, fair trade facilities have had a massive impact on the quality of the products coming out. We like to listen to the people around us, and having the fair trade facilities has enabled this information flow that allows us to make better, educated decisions to create beautiful products. When we're actually making this product here, the Tech Pouch, our initial design direction was to have the product butterflied open, and one of the final steps was to sew the two edge bindings together. During that process of ramping up the line, a lot of the employees on the floor had recognized, like, during these three processes, there was an opportunity to actually combine them into one single process by enabling a little guide on the sewing machine. That helped us create more efficiencies in the line output, but also to actually improve the sewing alignment, which created a very clean and better looking product. Fair trade not only improves lives, it improves the quality of products. And to see the employees of the fair trade facilities have that in their mind too is amazing.
If the worker produce another product with happy, the product will have a good, happy soul, and the customer will be very much enjoying with the product. That's why I will do that. And so Peter Daring, he had a right understanding and right direction. And so I just copy and paste and apply it to my business. And so my company become similar to Peak Design culture, and that culture, which does not exist in this field.
The gulf between the Asian manufacturing world and the San Francisco hardware startup could not be more massive. And so I'm really proud that Adrian has been able to take some of the lessons he's gained from Peak Design and impart them into his own company culture.
I want AJ Bungtao to be a model for other factories so that they can share the ideas to improve continuously.
Fair trade in itself doesn't solve every problem that pops up in your supply chain, but it does do a really good job of creating a floor where everything is standardized at your factories. Without the workers, we would be nothing. And so treating them as a part of our brand and with the same standards that we would treat people at our headquarters, that makes all the difference because they are a part of our brand. They're a part of this journey. And ultimately, if it maybe costs a little bit more, if it's a little more inconvenient to get something that you know was made in the right way, it's worth it every time. And I think that that's our responsibility as humans and as privileged humans to make that difference and to support the brands that are actually putting their money where their mouth is. You have a lot more power as a Peak Design supporter than you think you do. You can make a difference even as far as 15,000 miles away.
The volume of product that Peak Design is pushing today is influential enough where we can get actually pretty big factories to convert to being fair trade. And I tell you what, that's a lot better than any other action that we're taking, because then not only are the Peak Design products going to be fair trade, so is every other customer that they have. That is good. That's the kind of action that we want to have because it's multiplicative. It's not just Peak Design. This is a rising tide that lifts all boats.
In closing, let us march forward united, embodying the principles of making the best things and succeeding at the expense of nobody.
Together, we shape a legacy contributing to the greater good, a legacy built on innovation, fairness, and shared prosperity for all involved. Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a few little flubs, but I mean, he nailed it all in all. It was a complete success. So, oh my God. Lock it! You did it! You did it! Great job, bro!